Welcome back to another Sister Scoop. We have some really awesome Marvel news coming off of Deadpool and Wolverine. I do just want to give a little heads up. We will not cover SDCC related things on Sister Scoop. We are doing a separate podcast episode for that. So go check that out when that is out. But no SDCC news on this Sister Scoop. But I'm going to kick it right over to Taylor for the Deadpool and Wolverine news.
Yeah, so our first two topics are basically Deadpool and Wolverine and Marvel in general, just absolutely killing it in the box office this weekend. So Deadpool and Wolverine had the top opening weekend for a movie with an R rating of all time ever, which is crazy. And as of this morning, they were the number 6 US opening ever. So crazy numbers that they are doing this weekend. I don't think anybody was surprised. I mean, even the pre-ticket sales for opening weekend, they were saying it was tracking really well. So I'm not surprised by this, but it is great to see it. I know everybody who I've seen for the most part has really, really liked it. So it's just great to see Marvel really killing it at the box office again and just universal praise. I think it's been a hot minute since we've seen that. So it's a fun time to have this on SCCC weekend as well. Just a good time. It's been a stressful but exciting weekend for Marvel fans.
That's very true. I am very proud of Marvel for this one. We're both marketing kind of people. So just the marketing for this movie alone was through the roof. I think you saw Deadpool and Wolverine everywhere, whether or not you were watching trailers or you were involved in Marvel stuff or not. I mean, they had the weirdest partnerships, like the Xbox controllers that are like their butts. And I'm like,
so cute and funny.
Yeah, but I'm like, I can't figure out how this happened. But here it is. And it's so smart. And they just had so many partnerships that maybe didn't make sense, but it didn't matter because it made sense in the long run. And it gets the word out about the movie. I felt good about it when at my 5 o'clock showing, we had like 20, 25 people in there. And I think I said on our reactions, I never have that many people on a Thursday night at 5 o'clock. It's usually me and like 4 other people, maybe 7 if we're lucky. So I already felt good about that. And then, of course, we were coming in or we were leaving and a lot of people were coming in. So it just goes to show people were turning out Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. The whole weekend was huge.
It really was. And because it had such a huge weekend, it actually helped Marvel as a franchise, as an MCU in total, reach $30 billion in movie sales over the run of the MCU.
That's
That
crazy.
is higher than any other franchise. I was looking at an article today and it was comparing it to like some of the other major franchises of the last 20 years, things like Harry Potter. I think it was only at like 11 or 12 billion dollars. Marvel
Seriously?
is 3 times Harry Potter. Now, it also has 3 times as many films.
I was going to say.
Granted, it's a little apples to oranges, but it's crazy to think about that because you think of some of the biggest franchises of the last 20 years, and it is just killing it. So Marvel's the first one to do it, and that's pretty impressive.
I'm so proud of them. Makes me feel so good as a fan. But I want to get into the last piece because those are technically 1 and 2. So I'm going to get into the last piece of news, which is X-Men adjacent, I suppose is the best way to put it. And it's that Jay McAvoy, listen, I love him personally. I remember him, like I first saw him like in Split, not anything related to X-Men, but he has said that he would be back as Professor X if they want him. If the story is right, he'd be open to playing the role again. And I don't know what I feel about this. Like, I'm not sure how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm torn because on one hand, I liked him as Professor X. I thought he did a good job. The quality of the films around him got more questionable as that run went on. But I think I actually think overall the actors in general did a good job with what became really questionable material. The acting was never the issue. And I think he is, even among a great group of actors, one of the better ones. He's a really solid Professor X, and I think he does a great job. Especially, too, like you see some of the flaws of Professor X, and I think he plays those really well. However, thinking about what we just saw in Deadpool and Wolverine, especially the behind the scenes stuff that they were showing and during the credits, I think that is really the swan song, right? It was saying thank you for what you've done. And Ryan even posted about this too, kind of saying the same thing. Thank you for what you've done. You have allowed these characters to be a part of our careers and to get to this point where we're in the MCU. But 21st Century Fox and everything you've done, it's done now. Like, we are respecting you. We appreciate you. You are the foundation upon which we will go forward, but you're done. And so I just don't know that it makes sense for him to come back.
Yeah, I'm not sure I do either. I would say the only way that would go at this rate would obviously be a variant. It would be in no way, shape, or form tied back to the 21st Century Fox version of him. So it would be a variant. I mean, we do have Secret Wars, and I know that's kind of like, I feel like that's like the garbage disposal right now, you know? Like, I'm like sitting here and I'm like, oh, you know, but the Secret Wars could do it. Like, anything could happen in Secret Wars. So, I mean, theoretically, yes. But I do think, me personally, I always like the older Professor X in relation to the younger one. Obviously, First Class and all of that set a precedence that these aren't your like OG X-Men yet. This is before them, which is why it's called First Class. So I think that made sense for him to be younger. If they're going to have him now in the MCU, which they should, I mean, I think you can't really do the X-Men without Professor X.
Agreed.
I mean, listen, look, X-Men 97 even admitted to that. They were like, no, we need to bring him back. Like, it has to happen.
Yeah.
So I think that being said, I don't really think he needs to come back in any capacity either. I think it is kind of over. He played his role. He played his, that's not a trilogy, whatever you call 4 movies he was in. He did that. And I think it's time to bring somebody else new in.
Yeah, I agree. To your point, if he does come back, it's going to be a small cameo in Secret Wars. I don't even honestly think that's going to happen. If I had to choose right now between yes or no, my gut says no. That's the only possibility, but I still don't think even that's going to happen. Again, I really just feel like those credits, those behind the scenes, that was it. That was the thank you note. That was the, lid being put on everything that 21st Century Fox did, for better or worse. And we're moving forward now. And I think that's what that's going to do. But hey, like I said, I don't dislike him in the role. So if he comes back for a small cameo, prove me wrong all you want. That is fine. I still don't think, until I see him on my screen, I don't think we're going to see it again.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm completely aligned with you on that one, but I love him. I've seen him in other things. He's a great actor, and they were lucky to bring him in as Professor X.
Agreed.
So I would not be against it, but I just don't see the need or the want for it at the present moment. I'm glad he's open to it, though. The possibility kind of leaves itself out there, and that's all we could say about it, right?
Exactly.
All right, then. We're actually early on our Sister Scoop for once. That never happens. But this has been this week's Sister Scoop in Marvel News. Again, there is no SDCC. That's hard to say, guys. There's no SDCC coverage in this episode because we are doing a full podcast episode, which will be coming out very soon. So keep your eyes open for that, and we'll see you guys next week.